This is BL in the Air, a podcast where we talk about all things related to Thai BL dramas. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Chy.
And I'm the other host, Alex.
And today we're going to be talking about some of our favorite ships or our favorite acting pairs within the kind of Thai BL universe. But first, we'd like to start things off just by seeing what's new with us. What are we watching in the meantime? So, Alex, what's in the air with you?
I spent the week watching Wandy Good Day. I'm only up to episode 9. Episode 12 actually came out today, so it's finally done. So at least when I finish binging it, I can watch the whole thing.
That's
It's
what I've
been
been waiting for too. I'm like, I wanted to start it so long ago, but I just want to binge.
Yeah, that was the same for me. I was holding off for so long, but then I was on a business trip this week and I was like, I need something to watch that's gonna be not off of a questionable website. And so this is YouTube because I was on my work computer.
Yeah.
But it's been really cute. I don't know that it's my favorite BL, but I wasn't super familiar with Great and In as a ship.
Yeah, I'm
So,
not really either.
but they're really cute together. The chemistry is definitely there.
Okay.
So,
And it's like a boxer and
yeah.
a doctor or something, or is that the same person?
No. It's a boxer and a doctor.
Okay.
Which I didn't know. I honestly went into this knowing nothing. Um
Yeah, I think I watched like the trailer and I was like, oh, that looks good. But I'm
I
not about
yeah.
to like watch it weekly.
Yeah, I didn't even watch the trailer. I just was like, everybody's talking about this on social media, so I guess I'll watch it.
hmm
So it's definitely worth a watch.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably the next show I'm gonna watch. I feel like I say that about every show, but this one specifically, like I have been waiting for it to finish airing before I start. So I should probably
Yeah.
do it now before I like forget about it.
I need you to read my stand-in.
Oh yeah, true.
I need that to be soon. Um,
Yes, I will do that. I have a book from the library right now so I'm gonna try to finish that before it's due.
yeah, no, that's
But
totally fair. I just
yeah. But I'm like halfway done, and then after
okay.
that I would read my stand-in.
Okay.
So that's the other one I
And
was kind of
yeah.
waiting to finish the show before I read that.
Yeah. So I just needed it's one of those I'm like, I'll push whatever show I think you should watch next later. I'm like, I need you to read this book first.
Yeah.
I'm like, I need to talk about it.
Yeah. Well, you should send me the link for it.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. Yeah, for some reason I saw someone who was like, "Oh, it's on Wattpad." And I was like, "Why is it on Wattpad?" And then I like tried to look it up and I couldn't find it. So I was like, I think they were lying.
So it's not on
Or
Wattpad.
I got copyright or something.
Pit Babe is on Wattpad.
Oh, maybe that was the one on
So
Wattpad.
yeah. So the My Stand-In translation is on like somebody's blog, basically. So it's this
Mhm.
website of like this translator, and they've translated like 3 or 4 different books.
Okay.
So um
Okay. Good to know.
yeah, I'll send you that link.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
um but in the meantime, Shy, what's in the air with you?
So, I've been playing a lot of video games, and unfortunately, well, I don't know. My friends and I, we've been playing Dress to Impress, which is a Roblox game, for those who aren't familiar. And have you heard of it before?
I have not. My first thought was like a Barbie like dress up game, I'm not gonna lie.
That's essentially what it is. So,
That's amazing.
it's so fun. Okay, Roblox is basically like an engine you can use to build like a bunch of different games.
Mm-hmm.
And so like the most popular game right now is Dress to Impress. And you basically like have like your little character and then you have a theme and it's like randomly generated or people can pay like Robux to choose the theme. But then you have like 5 minutes to dress up for that theme. And so you
Oh,
walk
that's
around
fun.
this you walk around the showroom and then you like pick out clothes and you can change like the color and the patterns and like your hair and your makeup and stuff. And then at the end of like the 5 minutes, there's a fashion show. And so everyone walks down the runway and you like rate all the outfits like 1 to 5. And it's
Well,
actually
that
like
sounds fun.
it's so fun. My friends and I have been like addicted to it Because like you could just be like so creative and like dress up as like literally anything. So yeah,
Yeah.
we've been doing that a lot, which it is a children's game, but it's a fun game.
Yeah, I think a lot more than kids play that game.
Oh yeah. Especially like I feel like this has been one of the like the biggest Roblox like mini game thing, so
hmm
I think it's kind of reached beyond the child sphere.
Yeah, I have played Roblox a total of one time. Um,
What did you
and
play?
I don't remember,
Hmm.
but it was with Bomhan, the like K-pop
Oh.
idol. We played together. We are Roblox friends. Like that is I was like, I've peaked
What?
here. Yeah. He had like a fan night where we all like played together and like he like added everybody as friends on Roblox.
That's so cute. Sometimes you just drop the craziest lore, and it's like, what?
Yeah, that
Damn.
that happens. But yeah, it was super funny. Like for some reason like, he added me, like he accepted my friend request and then just sent me like a message and all it said was poop.
I wouldn't expect anything else from him. Oh yeah, I've also been playing aside so dress room press is what I play when my friends are around to play with me.
hmm
But alone I've been playing this puzzle mystery type game. It's called Strange Horticulture.
Oh, that
And
sounds fun.
it's so sick. You run a like you're like a botanist and you
hmm
run like like a plant nursery type thing, but it's kind of like a fantasy universe and you like inherit the shop from your uncle and so you have all these plants but you don't know how to identify them. So that's like the main puzzle is like identifying plants, but also like people come in and they buy plants for certain things and then you start like uncovering this mystery about this like witch coven that's nearby and some like monster and it's really cool. So
That
that's
sounds fun.
my like less embarrassing game to talk about, but they're
Not
they're both great games. I recommend them both.
neither of them are embarrassing. It's fine.
I'm like I'm not embarrassed about it, but when I tried to get my friends to play like for the first time, they were like shaming me so hard and I was like, "Guys, come on, just try it." And now they're addicted too, so
See?
yeah,
It's
not
fine.
embarrassing.
No. So Friday I got a gaming laptop, a new one, so I can play things again. Because
Ooh.
my other laptop was also a gaming laptop, but it's from like 2018, I think.
Mhm.
2016 something, so like out of date.
Yeah.
So I can start playing video games again. I'm super excited. I'm
What's
probably
your
not gonna
first
play.
game you're gonna play?
I have no idea.
Mm.
So I'm a playtester for the Hogwarts Quidditch game that's coming out.
Oh, cool.
um,
I remember
so
that on like PS2.
yeah, so
It
the
was
new
like
one is
a
incredible. So I
okay.
playtested the last round. They're doing like updates from all the playtesting. Um, it's actually pretty hard. Uh,
Hmm. Is it like so it's like multiplayer?
yes, it's
Okay.
online. It's multiplayer. You can like build your own teams and you have to learn all the different like positions, and so you can play as like any of the positions, and it looks really cool. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
Um,
It sounds neat.
yeah, and then my first game might actually be Hogwarts Legacy because that was been what I've been wanting to play, and my other computer couldn't handle it. The graphics card was too out of date.
Yeah.
So
Well, if you ever want to play Dress to Impress.
I might watch that be my first game back.
Yeah, right.
That'd be so funny.
I know. Hey, it's free, so.
Yeah,
Although you can buy VIP, it's like $10 and I'm kind of thinking about it, but
do it.
yeah. We'll see. But yeah, that's what I've been doing instead of watching any dramas right now.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Speaking of dramas,
Yes.
this week's topic is BL official pairings, ships, however we want to phrase that.
Yeah. Yeah, we just want to talk about like the pairings we like, the pairings we don't, the whole culture of like having official ships and stuff like that. We thought it would be interesting to talk
Hmm.
about.
Yeah, it's something unique to Thai BLs as far as I've seen. I don't know anyone else who does anything close to this.
Me neither. And I feel like only recently I began to understand that there was like this was like a very structured thing.
Hmm.
And so for like those who don't know, so in like Thai BLs there's official pairings and they're basically like it's a concept of having two people who work together in like every drama they're in, but they're always romantically like paired with one another. And it's kind of both on screen and off screen. So like they'll go to events, but they're supposed to be kind of like, coupley and fan servicey. But then when they're cast in a show, they're always like together too.
Hmm.
I feel like
There's
that's a bad explanation, but it's kind of hard to describe because it's just like so unique in my opinion.
yeah, there it's super unique and there's so much fan service with it. And where things get a little problematic because some of them are a little too good at the fan service. Um,
Hmm. It's
um,
kind of like the opposite of like how K-pop idols are supposed to like have their idol image, and a part of that is like they have to be single and like available. But for like Thai actors, it's the opposite, where like they have to seem like they're dating
dating.
their
Yeah.
couple, but they even if they're not, it's like I don't know,
Yeah.
it's
It's
very different.
yeah. I are you how do you feel about it? Do you like it?
Yes and no. So I do like the concept of having two people who have like good chemistry, who do like a good job in a show together. Like I like having multiple shows with that pairing because
Hmm.
like I just think about some of my like favorite couples, like how I watched like one show of them and I loved it so much, and it's so nice to have more shows that I can like watch these two in, especially if they've got great chemistry and they're good actors and stuff.
Hmm.
Um I really do love that. Um, I do think there are some like downsides. Um, like for example, I think sometimes they cast based on which pairing is popular and not who is like the actual best fit in the role. And I think
Yeah.
sometimes maybe like one person in that pairing is a really good fit for this character, but the character they're supposed to be romantically involved with maybe isn't the best like actor fit for the other actor.
Hmm.
And so I do sometimes I like see that happen, and I wish it wasn't as like strict sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if you're in like a popular pairing, it's like a disservice to fans. It's considered if you're romantically paired with someone else in a show, because that's like cheating on your couple. But
Yeah.
I would like to see sometimes I would like to see it like mixed up a little bit, and yeah, that's all. I wish it was like a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah, it is unfortunate how strict it really is. Because it's
Yeah.
like the only way you're gonna see somebody not paired with their like ship is if it's like if they go into a straight role for something, because that happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Um,
And they also I was thinking about this too, but I don't there's no like straight pairings.
no, there's not. Um, my guess, and this is without any actual information, my guess is it's a like a comfortability thing.
That's true,
Because
yeah.
a lot of these actors are straight. Like a lot of them are not, but a lot of them are, right?
Mhm.
And I guess to do all of that like workshopping to like get comfortable in some of these roles, um, it makes more sense because I think of Off Gun, right?
Mhm.
Because Gun isn't open, I don't think, but pretty confident. Gun is
Yeah.
queer in some aspect, and I'm pretty sure it's the opposite for Off.
Mhm.
And Off has said that he would only do like BLs with Gun because that's who he's comfortable with.
Mhm.
And I think that's kind of where it is. I think it's just more expected to just be comfortable in making out with each other if you're straight. Whether or not that's how it is, I don't know, but that's just what's expected.
Yeah. Yeah, I think just in general too, like you only have to be nervous to kiss someone like for the first time, and then once you're on like your third show working together, it's probably just like, you don't really have to worry about that kind of thing.
Yeah, somebody pointed that out with Fort Pete recently, actually. Um, so when they were doing like practice runs of some of the like the kissing scenes in, I think it was Love in the Air, um Fort would put his thumb over Pete's like lips and then kiss his thumb.
Mhm.
But then in behind the scenes from Love Sea that's been airing, uh there's no thumb in the way anymore. When they practice scenes, it's straight kissing. So
Yeah.
there's clearly been like an adjustment to what they're comfortable with.
Yeah. Or it's like how in the behind the scenes for my stand-in, when I don't remember who said this, but one of them was like, "Yeah, it's not, we don't consider it a day of work unless we're like kissing each other."
That was Poom.
Yeah. Like at some point you're just like, okay, like been here, done that, like not a big deal anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do like, also I know in I was thinking about like Korean BLs, and I was thinking of like couples who've been in multiple shows together, and I could only really think of Jiyoung and Sobin. Is that his name?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
because they did two shows together, but the culture is still different. Like they're not, like they don't really have like these like official pairings that have like fan names and fan bases just based on like the couple's relationship alone.
Has anybody done more than one BL besides those two?
I was like really trying to think about it, and I couldn't come up with any.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that evolves because I
Mhm.
feel like there is more and more BL coming out of Korea in the last like 2 years, honestly.
Yeah.
Um, and it'll be really interesting to see if we start going the route of like Thai BLs where you see official ships. I think they're gonna have to stop using K-pop idols for roles if they do that because I think those two are gonna contradict each other too much.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Yeah,
Because that's
I haven't seen people be like, "Oh, semantic error season 2 or whatever," but
yeah.
you know what? I feel like the I feel like the closest Korea has to like a gay official pairing is freaking So and Guk and what's the other guy's name? The
On Jaehoon.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like because they were the two in the K Will like Please Don't video, and then they're the new K Will video, and they keep talking about like we want to do a gay show together or whatever. I feel like that's like the closest
Yes.
Korea has. And
Yeah,
they're
I
just like in music videos together.
yeah, I think it was Soen Guk that said he was like talking to like a producer to like make it happen.
Yeah, I mean they seem to really want to. I'm like, okay, I mean,
I'm so here for it. I love both of them so much.
I do too. I'm like, I'm down for it. Like, sign me up. But yeah, that was the only other couple where I was like, okay, they've been like gay in multiple things together, kind
hmm
of, two
No,
music videos.
two music videos with both very unhappy endings.
Yeah. Yeah, just give me something happy, please.
Yeah. I um I think if the drama happens, it will have a happy ending. I don't think they're gonna do that to us a third time.
Feel like they would. I don't know. If K-Well's making the OST, it's gonna be unhappy.
Yeah, I heard he has a third one in this world coming out that he's
Yeah,
working on. With how the
yeah.
second one ended, I have a lot of questions.
I know. I'm like, is this the same universe, or are we like
Alternate timeline. This is the happy ending.
this is the K-Will cinematic universe?
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll see. I'll believe it when I see it, but
yeah. I'm rooting
yeah,
for them getting a full drama though. That is what
I
I want
mean,
more than another K-Will music video.
that would be that would be like legendary,
It would
because we
because
were
those
talking
are
about how like Taekyun's being in a BL drama and like
Yeah,
how that is. I feel like
that's a big deal.
yeah, because I feel like that's the first like big K-pop idol
Mhm.
to do like a BL like after being an idol, you know?
Yeah.
Because like Jin was like before, and some of the other ones who are like BL actors are like in smaller groups, like K and K and stuff, who I love
Mhm.
and I loved at the time, but I wouldn't call them mainstream,
No, for sure. And that's the same thing with Inguk and Jaehoon. Like those are
Hmm.
some big name actors.
Oh yeah,
So that would be such a huge deal.
and I remember like with Inguk specifically because he was in. I feel like I talked about this like 2 episodes ago, but Reply 1997.
Mhm.
Um, I know you haven't seen that drama, but he so Inguk plays like a high school character, and then his best friend is played by Hoya from Infinite,
Mhm.
and who was in Infinite, but I digress. But I'm a
Yeah.
huge Infinite stan, and so I started watching because of that, and their whole characters, they're best friends, but Hoya is gay and he's in love with Inguk, like secretly. And so
Mood.
I was like that was like one of the first times I'd seen like queer representation in a K drama. But like their
Mhm.
relationship's really cute and they like they like figure it out and stuff. But I'm like someone like I'm just like Inguk just like he really just wants to be in a gay relationship on screen. Like someone like give it to him finally. It's been years.
Yeah. So, I
Yeah.
with as much as they've been talking about it, I really think it's gonna happen. They just have to find the right script and everything.
Yeah.
So,
It would be cool, but yeah, I don't know. Like you said though, it really just like the whole concept of having like an official pairing really contradicts the idol or just like kind of the Korean culture like
I c
you know.
I could see it happening, but it's literally gonna have to be we stop using K-pop idols in these roles because I feel like a lot of the BLs that were coming out in like 2022 or so were all
Mhm.
like starring so and so from this K-pop group,
Mhm.
and I'm like I was all for that. I thought that was really cool. It's another form of income for all of them, and I liked all the shows that came out, but like
Mhm.
that doesn't make sense. So if you're gonna do something like I think for the BL, like, market in Korea to grow, you're even without doing official ships, you're gonna have to kind of branch out to, like, full-time actors.
Yeah,
And
I
then
think
I
so too.
I wouldn't be surprised if with that, if we start to see the them go the way of, like, how the Thai BL industry is set up, where, like, it becomes a big thing, like, where they promote it as, like, official couples, and that's how they do, like, the fan meets and then all of the, like, the advertising and stuff that goes with that, but I think we're a long ways off in Korea from that.
I think so too, and I think even if like that's what happens, we aren't going to get the thing where in Thailand where they kind of pretend like they're in like a real relationship together, whether they are or they aren't. That's just like the common way to market yourself, you know?
Yeah.
Um, and so that's like the real thing that I find so like unique about this like industry in Thailand is that there's kind of this like expectation where a lot of not all of them, but a lot of actors will they'll not confirm that they're straight, they'll not confirm that they're like gay or whatever, just to kind of like well, partially, of course, you know, you don't want to like it's your personal life and you don't have to talk about that. But I think part of it too is to kind of keep yourself like to keep the fans like guessing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's if they come out as straight, which the sounds weird to even say. Um,
True though,
but
that's like how it works.
yeah, but, like, to come out as straight, like, that already the illusion of the ship is gone, right?
Mhm.
And so, like, they have to play it neutral because if they come out as gay as well, and then they're not actually dating, like, their ship partner, that's a whole different issue.
Yeah.
Um,
And
and
I always think it's so weird like how obsessive like the fans get about it or like how upset they get when someone like has a girlfriend, they're caught having a girlfriend and it's like a big scandal and stuff, and then they're just like, what do you mean you're not dating your co-star? And I'm like, of course they're not dating, not all of them are dating their co-stars, but like
Right?
that's
Like,
what you're like they want you to think though, you know?
yeah, like if they were dating, these companies would be such good matchmakers. It'd be one of those. I'm like, sign me up too. Like, find me a spouse.
Wait, I need like a Love Island or something with all these like actors. That would be so funny. But yeah, I
Yeah.
learned recently about you were talking about like the ship name or not the ship names, the fandom names.
Yeah. So a lot of the official pairings will get fandom names, and then like sometimes the individual ones will have like individual fandom names too. There's so many names to keep up with.
Mhm. I know cuz I was like, "Oh, I just thought they had like just like the ship names like, you know,
Yeah,
like
but I've
I'm a fan of Force Book or whatever, but no, they have like terms."
yeah, which the ship names already cracked me up because I did not realize that there was like a implied top bottom thing to the order.
Mhm.
And that's why like with Pooh Powell, I never really understood what the debate was other than just like who gets to go first, and then I went, "Oh,
Oh, there is a
okay."
reason.
I was like, "That makes sense, I guess."
And I've talked about this before, but I already find that such a weird way to organize yourself.
It really is.
I mean, I guess to me, like it doesn't matter at all. Like
Yeah,
I don't really care who's, top or whatever, but
yeah. I
but
just
yeah, that is I feel like that's just in Thai pairings because I don't think people do that with anyone else that I can think of.
I can't think of any like ship names from like gay couples in any other industry, to be honest.
I mean, yeah, I think typically it's just like who who like what sounds best, you know?
Yeah. Because that's what I thought. Because like looking at like first Kautong, like Kautong first, just it doesn't flow right.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, it's such like a weird such a weird emphasis to put on the couple. Like why is this like important enough to dictate the whole like name and identity of this couple together? But I guess
I
yeah,
want
I wonder like how that started, you know?
Yeah, I wonder if that's like a cultural thing. Like I wonder what came first. Because I hear that with like the real couples too. Like Mew and Toll.
Mhm. Yeah.
Is Mew Toll, even though like they're a legit couple, right? I don't know. Were they paired together like in a show before? Or were they just
No.
okay, so they've always just been, like, friends or dating, but
Mhm.
Mutual has definitely been, like, established, and I'm like, how awkward would it be if it was, like, reversed or if they're, like, don't have a preferred like, you know? But that's how everyone calls them anyway,
Yeah, I
and
know. It's like because that's just like crossing like a boundary, like,
right?
you
That's more
know?
information than I wanna know about anybody, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, and I feel like that having the names like this, I feel like people know better these days for the most part. But I know, like, I'm sure any gay man will tell you that at some point in their life they've had someone come up and inappropriately be like, "Oh, are you a bottom?" or whatever. Like, but not someone who's interested
Yeah,
in them, but like some like, girl or something. And so I feel like it kind of like I don't know, having the ship names this way kind of helps support that behavior, which I'm like,
yeah.
don't do that like to real people, but like I guess for like a show.
I just I can't imagine going up to somebody in real life and being like, "Are you a top or a bottom?" Like that's so insane to me,
Yeah, I know. It's so like wildly inappropriate.
right? Like that's I'm not interested, so that's not my business.
Yeah, like I don't want to know to be honest.
No, I don't need to
And
know what goes on in anybody's bedroom.
and even in like some shows, like some dramas, I'm like I don't just just based on like watching the show, I also wouldn't be able to tell like
Mhm.
who does what. Just if the show's not super like explicit with the sex scenes, it's like I can't tell anyway. So who's deciding?
That's actually kind of how Wandy Good Day is.
Okay.
I don't actually know who's who because they cut out before anything really happens.
Yeah.
And
And
I'm like, that's perfectly fine with me. Like I don't need to know.
and then I think the problem with that is that like 100, 95% of the time they always just like automatically put the more quote unquote like masculine person first.
Mhm.
And like that's another like stereotype that doesn't really reflect the real world and has some problematic connotations as well, but yeah, I
And
do see that as like you know, happens very commonly.
yeah, I think that's one of the best parts of Pit Babe.
I agree. I love here. I am here for the poo pavel behavior.
Same. I they're not my favorite pairing, but for that switch up just in general and the fact that like Pavel tries to argue with it but always gives in, I
Hmm.
love it.
I do too. That's why I love like when there's like those little moments of just like subversion.
Mhm.
Then I'm like, okay, I'm here for it. We're expanding and stuff. But yeah, man, ship names in Thailand they're no joke. They take it serious.
Mhm. And then the fandom names are so cute though. Like the our newest one, Up Poom
Mm.
with Toop Tub, which
Toop
is
toop.
um the closest we have to that is like cute aggression.
I love that because I get cute aggression so intensely.
Me too. I didn't think I did, and I feel like it's been a thing I've like picked up in the last few months where I have that and I'm like, what is happening to me?
That's every time I look at my cats, that's how I feel. I'm like, I just want to squeeze their little floopy head.
So, but yeah,
Yeah.
speaking of Upum with that, I don't know if they're an official couple or not.
Okay, yeah, so that's the other thing I wanted to bring up is that like official couples are announced. They're like they don't really happen like naturally.
No, they're it's based off of it's really most of the time it starts with like a role.
Yeah, like and then they're like announced an official couple and then you can but like but sometimes, you'll have like a couple in a show together and it's like, well, they're not an official couple, but it's like, okay, I just watched them like make out for 7 episodes, so okay.
Yeah, because it's like that, and that's like with Upum, like they're not under the same company, I don't think.
Ew.
Because like I whatever company they're under, I guess my guess is they don't produce shows because that's like Up's new show that's coming out
Hmm.
is under Change 2561. That's the one that does Pit Babe, but
Yeah.
that's not his company.
Yeah.
So I don't know if
Yeah.
they just are artist management and I because both of them for my stand-in they both had to audition for that, so it wasn't like a um like something within their company that they got cast for. It was like for Joe's role, it was 400, and I forget how many they said for Up's role for Ming.
Yeah. It's a lot of people.
It is, and couldn't have been cast more perfect in my opinion.
Yeah.
From the
Yeah.
chemistry.
I mean but that's kind of the nice thing about like having auditions as opposed to just like being like, okay, let's just cast this couple in those two roles. Cause like,
Yeah.
it might have been great, but it also might not been as perfect as we have it now. And
Hmm.
yeah, I feel like that's maybe the downside, but then the upside is if they are an official couple, then I would love to see them in another show together. In fact, I will cry if I can't see them in another show together. So,
Right? I know they don't have any plans right now, but that's normal. But they've
mhm,
both said that they want to do more shows together, so I'm like, please, somebody make it
yes,
happen. Um,
I agree. So yeah, definitely like mixed feelings on the whole thing, but it's cool. I think it's a cool, like unique, like cultural thing.
Yeah.
Like it's just something that only exists like in this country, in this specific industry that I'm aware of at least. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe other countries do it this way too, but
Yeah. I'm not aware of any, but
yeah,
um
I'm not either.
I'm a big fan of it as long as fans don't take it too far. Because
Yeah.
there's clear like some like off gun like I'm certain they're not dating, right?
Yeah.
And then there's some like first encountering I'm like they could be dating, they could just be friends. I have no idea. I'm
Hmm.
just happy that they get to spend time together and they seem to love each other in some capacity. And I am like at a minimum convinced that they are like platonic soulmates.
Hmm.
And I'm fine with just that, right? Like I don't if it's more than that, great, good for them. I'm glad somebody's happy. Um,
Yeah.
but like when people get mad about like people dating, because I feel like there's been so many dating rumors lately, or like the people being
Hmm.
like busted, like Jeff Setcher, like with that whole fiasco, because
Yeah.
somebody took photos of him and a girl in like Switzerland or something holding hands, and he went on like Twitter Spaces and did this big thing about how like they're not friends, they're not dating, it's more complicated than that, which is totally valid because relationships aren't clear cut all the time, right? Like they had dated like in the past and stuff like this and like he's been pretty open. Like if there's some news to tell, he will be the one to make that announcement and he's not gonna hide it. So I really think if he starts dating someone and it becomes serious that he'd announce it pretty quickly. I don't think he would hide it. Um
Yeah.
and
It,
then
it sucks being under such like, constant scrutiny all the time,
right?
especially like regarding having your personal life tied so like closely with your work life. Like just specifically you're having your dating life and your work life be, you know, like
News.
two yeah, like you're having and a relationship could affect like your work, but I'm also sure like being in these couples and stuff affect the way that you form like relationships and stuff. I'm sure that's like a really weird
Yeah.
combination.
I mean, it has to be. If you're like in an official CP that does a lot of like fan service, like Fort Pete. Fort Pete would be a good example. If Fort Pete aren't
Yeah.
dating, but how like obsessed Fort is with Pete. Like if Fort's dating somebody on the side, like actually dating, like you have to have somebody who has an understanding of like what you see, even though I'm not a character, is still like an act. Like that's tough.
Yeah, and it's one thing to see your partner like on screen being an actor and like, hooking up with
Yeah.
someone. Okay, whatever. But
That
like having to see them do these kinds of things like off screen as well. It's
right? Like
like a weird blend in acting and reality.
yeah, and I bet that puts a lot of pressure on like relationships because it's one of those. It's like if I think about it, like if I were to date a BL actor that's in like a thing like that, like because I'm so aware of the industry, like I would understand it, but I would still need that reality check to be perfectly honest of like
Hmm.
having those conversations of like it's still just an act. We're just friends. We're just coworkers. Whatever. I I don't know that I could watch the fan meets. I
Yeah.
I
I mean, some of them are very, into like the
yeah.
fan service and stuff. And also
Yeah.
just like the fear of like, oh, if our relationship gets exposed, then like his career could be like over or something.
Right? Or
And
like the
like
fans will come and attack me.
yeah,
Because
right.
that's like even the girl that Jeff was like holding hands with walking down the street, like she had to go on social media and like release a statement too.
Yeah. It's always sad when people have to like apologize for their like real life relationships.
Right? Like I'm not here for that.
Yeah, I'm not either. So yeah, it's an interesting like blend of just like when is it like the illusion taking it too far and like you want like it's good for your career if the fans like you know
Yeah, if the fans think
buy
you're
in.
dating, that's like the peak of your career at that point, right?
Yeah, exactly. But then
But
I'm
like,
sure that's when people start, taking it too far, and then your career might be great, but I'm sure it takes a toll on your personal life.
yeah, I don't know that I could do it unless I was actually dating my
Yeah,
coworker. Like, I don't know that I could do it.
I know, I agree.
I think at that point I would rather not be in an official one. I'd rather be one of like the side characters that's like paired with whoever I need to be per show. Like,
Yeah, I agree. That would be I think for me that would be like ideal as well.
yeah, something like maybe like Neo, who's like in
Hmm.
all these shows but also is now openly dating Mint.
Yeah. Or like even like Mark, cuz he is an official couple now. Like they just
Yeah.
announced it and they have a show, their first show coming out. But before that, like I've seen him in relationships with like all these different people.
Mhm.
And it's great because like I see him have like chemistry with just like with all types of people, which is really fun. Like
Yeah.
I've seen like him and Neo had great chemistry in Only Friends, and then him and Namtan had great chemistry in Last Twilight. So like he's, in like straight relationships sometimes, and it's always like I like being able to see that variety of like actors, I like
Yeah.
seeing them with like a bunch of different people. Um, but yeah, it looks like from now on he's mostly just gonna be paired with like the same person. So
At
it's
least we
but
have yeah.
yeah, at least like I'm happy for them and everything, but yeah, it is gonna be like probably a bit different.
Yeah, they seem to have really good chemistry already, so I'm super excited to see how that turns out.
I am too. Well, do you want to get into some of your favorite ships?
Sure. So, first one to talk about, the one that caused us to bond,
Mm-hmm.
and that is first Katong.
Yes.
Um, I I okay, as much as I know you just talked about how much like it'd be cool to see other like pairings and stuff, I don't ever want to see them with anyone else.
I agree. I think so they're also like pretty much my favorite couple.
Yeah.
And mostly just because they have just like so much chemistry. It's like I, it's more than I've like ever seen in two people ever. And so I'm just like I like need to continue this, please.
Right. So they have great on-screen chemistry and like their relationship on screen, regardless of like where it is, like I don't need to know where it is. Like that's like the easiest one for me to be like I don't need to ask the like what are they question because I'm like they're just comfortable with each other and they just happiness when they're around each other is so freaking cute.
I know.
But yeah, their shows together, I'm so excited for the Heart Killers that started filming on Thursday because the photos we've gotten have been insane.
Oh, it looks so good.
It
I
does.
especially because so the Heart Killers is filming, and before that they're in Only Friends together, which we talked about in length the last two episodes. And then before that they were in
The Eclipse.
yeah, the Eclipse together. Um and so they're gonna have like three shows now, and I love like the Eclipse. I liked it was like a weird show. Like obviously they were like the best part of it, but that one's a lot more like
It's school children, right? Like
yeah, like it's
just
not as mature,
yeah.
and OnlyFriends is a lot more mature, and I like seeing that side of them. And the Heart Killers is going to be kind of like mafia tattoo artist type thing, but I don't know. So I'm very excited though.
Second day of filming, and one of the rooms is like this room with like a red glow in it. And so we're like, they already film a sex scene.
Day two on set, gotta get into it.
But yeah, I love them. Peak peak couple for me.
Hmm.
I don't think they'll ever like I don't think they want to ever like break ship. Like everything I've heard about them, like from before they became official with the Eclipse, was like they had been friends for a long time already. And
Hmm.
both of them kind of like fought to like become an official couple.
Yeah,
Because
thank
um
God. I praise
right?
them.
Right? Because Kao Tung was in a different show. I
Oh
Don't know
my
how to
god, he was in the freaking chocolate show.
the
Is that
what?
is that the
Is
one you're talking about? The what is it like Tonhon chocolate?
yes.
That one. I haven't seen it, but I've heard horrible things about
It's
it.
Tonhan Chon Latte.
I hope that means chocolate because
I was
the
like,
show
what's
the show probably has nothing to do with chocolate. I'm so sorry.
I don't think it does. That's why I was like, what show did I But he was paired with Pod there, and I thought that was gonna be like a more official thing. But
Hmm.
I don't know why that didn't become an official one outside of like first being like, let me pair with this man.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm so I literally
So,
thought the show was about like chocolate.
so Chon Lati is Cal's name in the show.
Yeah.
So it's both of the name is basically just like the couple ship name. Um
It's like a Tharn type situation.
yeah.
That's
Um
so funny. Okay. Anyway. But yeah, that was I think is that the only show he's starred in without first?
I think that was the only one he was
Like paired with someone else.
they're re-airing the Eclipse right now. GMMTV is.
Wait, really? Are they doing it on like Fridays?
I think so.
Because wasn't that the thing, like Eclipse Friday?
Yes. So even before it got announced they were gonna do that, every time I was on like Twitter on Fridays, like I would see Eclipse Friday again. I'm like, oh, so many people have not moved on from that show. It's so cute.
That is cute. I don't understand, but I'm happy for all the Eclipse stands. I'm
Right?
sure it
Like
was something like at the time it was like really, really good, but since we've progressed, I've
yeah.
seen some shows I like a lot more than the Eclipse, but
Yeah, I enjoyed the Eclipse. I watched it after Only Friends.
I did
But
too.
it's definitely not up there on my absolute favorites. I would rewatch it, I think. Um
Yeah. I was just getting so frustrated with First the whole show. Or
That's
his
fair.
character. Not
Yeah.
his acting or
No.
anything, but just the character was kind of infuriating. Also okay, maybe we should do an episode on the show at some point because the plot holes in this show are like so insane. Like halfway through the show I was like, okay, I figured it out, like easy. And then by the end of the show, like my prediction was wrong, but my prediction would have made like 80 times more sense than the actual.
That's so funny.
Yeah. Anyway, I kind of forgot about that till now, but the iconic thing about the eclipse is that it is the first time we see First and Cowtongue together, so
Yes.
I'm very
Mm.
happy it exists so that we had the opportunity to see them in Only Friends.
Yes, and then we'll get to see them in Heart Killers whenever that comes out. I know everybody's been speculating, I think September or October, but I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't come out till 2025.
Yeah, me too.
Partially because Dunk is um filming something else right now, so it's just First Katang in Jung filming stuff.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know how I think it might be 2 weeks before Dunk can join them or something like that.
Okay.
So I think just with that, and then I think it was JoJo was saying that they've got months of filming to go. So
Wow. Okay. They're so like open about the production process, I feel.
they are. I don't know if this is something that I'm just not aware of in any other industry, but I do love how like open and aware everything is, and how people talk, like the actors and like the production staff all like talk about everything that's going on, and even like the official accounts, like the Heart Killers like Twitter account will post stuff constantly and
Mhm.
interacts with like First and Kowtow and Jung, and like there's a lot of teasing.
Yeah, and behind the scenes stuff. Yeah.
hmm
It's great, honestly. So, yeah, they're top of my list, top of your list.
Yes.
We love them. Would love to see more shows of them together. But that is one reason why I really did like Only Friends, and I talked about this earlier, but I do like how in Only Friends, like everyone had, in an official couple, like they stayed loyal to that, but they also made out with like other people throughout the show, and so that was like fun to see because it was like a way to, you know, see these
Yeah.
different like what ifs without actually like committing to any of them.
Yeah, that's what threw me in Moonlight Chicken was like the first scene that first is in because I guess first Cow
Mhm.
Tongue are actually in Moonlight Chicken. Um
Yeah.
like as minor characters, but like the first time you see first, he like kisses Mix. And I was like, wait a second. I think I said this in one of the Only Friends recordings, but
Mhm.
I was so thrown off. Like it wasn't like I was mad about it or anything dumb like that, but I was just like, that's not Cow Tongue. Who are you kissing?
Yeah.
I was like, Earth is on set too. I'm like, wait a second, like we something
I
is not
know.
right here. It was really funny.
I will say Cowtongue and Book. I was like I kind of see it, you know. When they were having a thing in OnlyFriends, I was like it'd be
Yeah.
weird, but like I can kind of see it.
I would rather if I had to pick something out of Only Friends, I would rather Mond and Cow Tongue.
I agree. Oh man,
There's
Bond and anyone you could
right? He
sign me
just
up.
immediate chemistry with people.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'd rather have first Cow Tongue, but I'm like, Mond, I wouldn't be mad about it.
Mhm. I would agree. Mon just needs to be the like the thruple in all the relationships.
Just honestly, just give him characters that come in to cause chaos and make out with everyone and then leave. I'd be fine with that every time.
He's the official homewrecker of all the couples. That'd be a good role.
That'd be the fun role. That'd be the role that I would want in a B.
Oh, me too. That sounds like perfect to me.
Don't have to worry about the rules with the official ship, but you get to make out with all of the hot guys. Um,
Yeah, sign me up. I will sign that contract, please.
yeah. I wouldn't mind him being in a ship, getting more
I
roles.
know.
I don't hear too much from him. Is he in anything lately?
Okay, he was Employees Yearbook, which I've heard about.
Yeah, because that's not a BL.
No. And then My Golden Blood is TBA. Oh, that's like another vampire. I completely forgot about this one. But anyway, who's up next on your list of favorites?
Fort Pete.
Yeah.
I love Fort Pete so much.
I do too.
Like
And this is for you is this more of like a like you like them acting together or you like them like off screen together?
both. So
Yeah.
much both. Like I love Pie Sky from Love in the Air, and then I'm still a little on the fence about Love Sea. It's getting better, but we had a few episodes there where I was just like, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
Um, but with that, Fort is such a puppy. Like they're the epitome of like cat dog relationship to me,
They are.
and
They
because
really lean into that in Love Sea as well.
they do, and there's so many scenes in Love Sea where I'm like, that was Fort Pete. That wasn't whatever their characters are, Mutt and Tonrak or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, that was Fort reacting to whatever Pete just did.
Yeah, and we mentioned before they like kind of there are a couple like lean a little bit more into fan service, or at least Fort leans more into fan
Yeah.
service. So.
Yeah, it's one of those. I don't know that it's like a we're dating type of fan service, right? Like there's some of them where it's like, oh, maybe we're dating. I don't know.
Hmm.
I think it just Fort is obsessed with Pete. And Pete likes
Yeah,
to pretend like he isn't also into Fort, like as a fan service thing. Um,
yeah, yeah.
because
They like play it off like really well. Like obviously we don't know
yeah,
if it's
yeah,
for fun or if it's real, but the dynamic that they have is like really enjoyable to watch.
I love watching them interact together on in like fan meets or even on just like lives together and stuff like that. Because
Hmm.
like Fort is always like wanting this attention from Pete, and Pete's like, I'm not gonna give you attention, but then secretly does, and you can just see like all the brain cells leave Fort's like brain. He has the same reaction every time of just like this big grin, like jaw dropping every time like Pete does something cute.
Hmm.
And I'm like, aw. And I feel like over time you've been able to see like Pete soften a little bit, which is the only reason I'm like, I wonder how real this is because like they are both great actors, but I'm like to an extent, like this has to just be who Pete is.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, that's a lot of acting.
hmm
But
Yeah,
yeah,
they're really like they're very fun to watch in their like videos and stuff and on screen, of course.
they are. And then Fort's a Disney princess. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Oh yeah.
He has like I don't know, like 5 or 6 ferrets and a bunch of other animals. But I went on like this rabbit hole watching videos of him playing with his ferrets the other day.
I love that so much.
Right? And they were like climbing all over him and like climbing in his shirt and stuff like that. And I'm just like literally Disney princess vibes. And I love him. He's so adorable. I just
What
want
is it?
to like,
Sleep or no, Snow White. That's the one with all the
yeah.
animals.
I need him protected from anything bad ever at all costs.
Yeah, no, he's great. They're very cute together.
They are. They're one I would be very sad if their ship ever sinks.
I would be sad too. Yeah. Hopefully, as Lovesea continues it, you know.
Yeah, I don't see their ship sinking anytime soon.
I don't either.
Like,
Especially like with Love in the Air being so popular and
yeah.
Lovesea being, I think a
Yeah,
lot of
loves
people are watching it too.
yeah. So, I would like to see them do something that's not from Mamie, which
Mhm.
when we talked about Love in the Air and we had this whole I don't know how to pronounce the writer's name at the beginning. So I read the book, right?
Mhm.
For Love Sky. I had to think of the name. And at the very end of it, there's like a thing from the writer. And she basically says she doesn't care how you write her name or you say her name, just so everyone's who doesn't know how to say it. Mamie, Mame. There's a few different ones. So yeah,
Mhm.
it's a pick.
Good to know.
Basically.
I
Yeah.
I'm glad because I was just like I don't want to
Yeah.
mispronounce, but I also
Right.
like don't know how to find this information.
Right. That was the struggle. It was one of those I'm like, I don't even know where to start looking for that. Because there's been a few of them where I've been like, okay, I've been clearly pronouncing these wrong. Like Tharn type is actually like Tarn.
Mhm.
And I'm like, that's
Yeah.
gonna be a hard habit to break. Um, so it's like as I find some of these, I'm like, okay, I'll try and say them correctly. Like like fourth from fourth Gemini is actually Fort.
Yeah. It's hard
Um,
too. It's like in
there,
English, it's like literally like the word fourth.
yeah,
But in Thai, it's like pronounced differently.
yeah. So I'm trying, guys.
Mhm.
But
We're
for
getting
that
better.
one, yeah, for that one, everything we said was actually correct. She listed like everything we said. That was my favorite part. Was like all of these options, and I was like, oh, okay, so we were fine.
Yeah, thank you. That's when you can't just like look up like a lot of times I'll like look up an interview to see people like introducing themselves to see
Right.
how things are pronounced, but like if it's an author and a book, it's just like you know, all I have
Yeah.
are my eyes.
Yeah, and even in some of those interviews, if like, especially like if they're like in the middle of like a Thai sentence, I'm like, it's so hard to like single out where they say their name. I'm like, how much do I need to slow mo this to like catch it?
Yeah, right. Point 0.5.
What's your
Uh,
next favorite pairing?
okay, for me, this isn't like this really isn't okay, this is kind of in order, I guess, but only because I only listed 3 couples. The second one I have listed is Earth Mix, who I love them, like, so dearly. They've been in a good amount of shows together. So my favorite is Tale of a Thousand Stars. Um, and they were in like Moonlight Chicken, and there's another one that they were some like body switch one. I forget the name of. And then they're gonna be in the Osan's Love Thai version.
Yeah,
So
I haven't seen much with them because I still haven't finished Moonlight Chicken. Um,
yeah. Oh, Cupid's Last Wish. That's the other one I was forgetting the name of. But
have you seen it? Is it good?
I haven't seen it. That's when I've like keep on like planning to watch, and then for some reason I just like never started. But that's a good amount of shows they have together.
Yeah, that's a lot for one couple already.
Yeah. And I guess like I mean like Earth's been acting in GMM TV shows for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
Um but yeah, I love them together and I I would love to see them in like more things too, especially like even though like I love Tale of a Thousand Stars, but like they're it's not like I honestly I don't know if this is like a spoiler or not. It's very light on the romance. Like I don't even
Mm-hmm.
think they kiss in the show.
Oh wow.
Or, yeah, I think maybe there's like an R Sky couple episodes. Okay, this is a side note, but the R Sky episodes with Tale of a Thousand Stars, it's shared with Bad Buddy. So instead of two
Oh,
episodes, it's four, and it's like a big crossover where like the Bad Buddy guys go to the setting of Tale of a Thousand Stars. It's interesting. I've like never seen like a crossover like that before.
that is interesting.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so yeah, they have that. But it Tale of a Thousand Stars, it's pretty light on like the romance element. But even then, even though it wasn't like super like physically forward, you could still feel like the chemistry and the tension in like every scene, and it was just like it was super well done, and that like really sold me on them. Um, Especially Mix because he just has like the prettiest eyes
He
of
does.
all
He's so
time.
pretty.
Yeah, literally so pretty. And so yeah, I love I feel like all the shows they've done are very like unique from
Hmm.
one another, and I like seeing that kind of variety. Um and yeah, so I really like them. I really like them off screen as well. I think they're definitely a lot more like low key. Like they don't really do fan service, but sometimes I kind of feel like it's like a little too real, you know?
They're very clearly comfortable with each other in like a
Yeah.
in just like a very natural way, I would say.
Yeah.
Because yeah, they're very introverted. I don't
Mhm.
know a whole lot about them, but I do know they're very good friends with First Cow Tongue. So I know
Yeah.
when like GMM TV outing happens, like those two are gonna like the four of them will be together the entire time.
Yeah, I love it. They have their
And then
little like introvert circle.
yeah, they will be together. They're gonna be the first ones to dip out of anything. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, they're all
um,
very close to one another. Like
yeah.
I know they've gone to like ceremonies and stuff together.
And
Um
then
mhm.
I was watching something recently, and it was like Earth Mix were like at one of their houses, like clearly just hanging out together, just happened to go late. Like it wasn't like an official like thing to do anything. It was literally they just actually hang out together, like outside of work.
So there's a lot of speculation that they live together.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if, obviously no one knows if that's real or not, but there are a couple lives where like, like Mix will be live and then like Earth will start talking in the background, like not knowing that he's live or something. And
Hmm.
so, yeah, a lot of people have started speculating like, oh, they might actually like live together and stuff. But they don't like, they're very low key, so they don't say anything. But yeah,
They would,
I think they would make a very cute actual couple if they are, and who knows, but
yeah, they would be one that would not surprise me if they eventually came out as a real couple. I will say
I
that,
yeah,
regardless of where they stand.
I think yeah, other than them, I was like, oh, Mew and Toll like wouldn't surprise me if they were a real couple. And then like the other day they were like, yeah, we're a real couple. So I think yeah, Earth and Mix are next on my list. We're like, yeah, if they ever one day were like, yeah, we're married, I'd be like, yeah, I'm not surprised.
I I'm waiting for like Tainu to like be official. I think that's a real
See,
one.
I okay, and I've said this before. I think
Yeah.
Tay and Gun are
I don't
more
think they
official.
are. I think they were just being very friendly. I don't know how else to put that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I mean, I guess I don't really like know that. I don't really watch
Yeah,
a lot of the lives and stuff. Like I know you watch a lot more of that, so you probably have a better read on all their relationships and stuff. But
I
I have seen them very like close, like cozy together. So I'm like,
yeah. So that one thing that happened that I think you're referring to vaguely,
mhm.
is so New was live, and he turned the camera over, and like Tay and Gunn were kissing.
And he was
And
like,
he turned it
ah.
back over. And it became this big scandal because, that's outside of the ship because it's Tay Nu is the
Mhm.
ship and Off Gun. And Off Gun are not dating. Like
Mm-mm.
I'm confident in that one. Um
Yeah,
like regardless of whatever anyone's sexual orientation is there, those two I don't think are dating. I think they're just very good friends.
yeah.
Um
I feel like they've been fairly clear about that
yeah.
too.
I
Like being the oldest TBL couple, they have a little bit more like, privileges, I think,
yeah.
than some of the other couples do. Like they're a little bit more they're like we've been doing this for a long time, so we're gonna be
Yeah.
kind of honest.
So, but after all of that, I think it was Tay was like, a lot of us kiss each other behind the scenes anyway, just because it's fun. And I went, that checks out. I would
Yeah.
also be like, that's so
I love that being the explanation. It's like, did you watch like Friends?
a little bit.
There's like a scene where two of the friends are secretly dating. It's like Chandler and Monica. And then like
Hmm.
one day he like slips up and like kisses her goodbye. And then to cover for it, he goes around and kisses every other person in the room. To me, I was like, that's like a very similar
Yeah.
like explanation and I love it. It's just like, yeah, I kissed him and I kiss everyone, so what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, whether that whole situation, like, yeah, I'm like, I could see it being just like being a couple, but I could also just see it they're just being silly and having fun. But it
Yeah.
wasn't the thing though is I was like caught on camera.
Yeah, the reason I think it's more Tay Nu than it would be Tay Gun is because Tay went to Paris Fashion Week to go work, right? And then Nu followed him privately, like not creepily, like they
Hmm.
went together, right? But they went Puin was there too for work at Paris Fashion Week. And then they were like the three of them were together for like the whole thing hanging out. And then as soon as like the work part of that finished, Tay and Nu went on like a private like European vacation afterwards. And they were
Hmm.
like spotted like holding hands and stuff.
Oh, really? Okay. I
Yeah,
didn't hear
so
about this.
that's where I'm like I don't I don't know who I would be close enough to be like that like it's one thing to follow for like Paris Fashion Week, but then to like go off on like a private like European vacation where they uploaded some photos here and there, right? But like it wasn't like, hey, we're going live constantly to show you. Like it wasn't like a work thing.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's the only reason I'm like, I still think it would be Tainu if anybody is dating. I just
Yeah. I see that, but for some reason, I just get such like straight vibes from New.
I can see
But
that too. It
yeah, not to assume anyone's sexuality,
no,
but I listen, my gaydar, it's not half bad. I
mine is
think
so bad.
honestly, okay, I mean, being a queer woman, I'm much like my gaydar is like, yeah, I can tell when like women are gay. So like honestly, like men I don't have that sixth sense for, but I've
Yeah, it makes sense.
yeah, I have a gaydar. It's not always tuned correctly, but
Mine is so bad. The amount of times I've had a crush on like a guy and then I befriend him and then he's like, "Yeah, I'm gay." I'm like, "Oh, oh, I just thought you had a European fashion sense."
yeah. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I'm always just like, whatever. We can
Yeah.
still be friends, right? Like,
Yeah. Well, who's next on your list?
I'm gonna go with Boon Prem. I love them.
Okay.
So have you watched anything with them?
No, can you remind me
Um,
who they are and what they've done?
okay, so Boon Prem were part of let me pull it up real quick. They were part of the group that came over from uh Wabi Sabi.
Okay.
So they're at GMM TV now with them and Santa and Sammy.
Mhm.
Um Boone is the one who wanted revamped. He wanted a a vampire show, so
Oh,
he wrote the script.
okay.
And so that's been uh his pet project, and it's him and Prem are the leads in that, of course. Um,
Oh, and they're the swim ones.
yes, so they
Okay.
were the thing, and that was Between Us, which was the spin-off from Until We Meet Again,
Yes.
right? Yes. Yeah. So my first show with them, though, I think was something else. Even Sun. I've seen Even Sun as well. Um, so they've also done, I guess, 3 shows together. So they were a side couple in Until We Meet Again. Like they were, the setup was there, but you didn't see a whole lot about them.
Yeah.
Um, and then Even Sun, um, Prem was a debt collector that sucked at his job, and Boone, I think, had debt, and that's how they get together. Um,
Okay. Interesting.
it was really cute. I really like that one, but
Mhm.
um, they're another one where their fan service off screen is is great. Boone is
Mm,
very like protective of Prem. Um,
yeah.
so
Cute.
and
Yeah. I'll have to watch. One of these days, I'll get through my watch list.
they're also gonna be in Zombievor, which is so hard for me to say, which isn't a BL but has like so many BL actors in there.
I know. It's like,
Um,
yeah, it's weird having all these like, you know.
yeah, because it's Z Nunu, it's Max Nat, uh, Yim Tudor, I think is a couple, Net James, which is so weird,
Oh
and
yeah.
Boone Prem, or
Like,
maybe
how are
just
you
Boone.
gonna have all these couples in
Mm.
there and have them not be a couple?
Yeah, so Prem I don't think is in this one actually. It's just Boone, but then Boss is also in there. Um,
Yeah.
like there's so many, and I'm just like, oh, okay.
All of them are listed under main role as well. Like, there's like 20
Yeah,
people where it says main role.
yeah, it's definitely an ensemble cast, but it's a zombie movie or a show. Um,
Hmm.
so it just finished filming, so maybe we'll have a release date at some point.
Yeah.
I just they're adorable. I really want to see more with them, so I'm really excited that we're gonna get revamped because I think Boone will make a beautiful vampire. Um,
Yeah. I could see it based on his My Drama List profile picture.
yeah. So I really liked Between Us, their relationship in that maybe not a slow burn necessarily, but it's not like it gives kind of slow burn vibes, I would say, is the best
Okay.
way to kind of explain it. Like it's not a slow burn. Like they get together pretty quick, but
Hmm.
like it's not like a really like aggressive relationship. It's a very gentle. I don't know.
Okay. I'm down for
No.
that.
Yeah.
I appreciate a slow burn.
Yeah. Have you seen Until We Meet Again?
No, I haven't.
Okay, that's another good one. Um,
Yeah. I remember you telling me about that one.
yeah, I will say there is a complaint with Between Us that cracks me up. Um, so
What
in
is
it,
it?
Boone has blonde hair,
Okay.
and you can see what order they filmed the show in based on what his roots look like. It is very obvious
Oh
because
no.
it's literally he'll like do something in a scene and then it'll like cut to them like walking into the next room or something, and then all of a sudden his roots are like 3 inches longer.
Oh no, why didn't they touch him up?
I don't know. Because I caught it while it was filming too, because it's that noticeable that it's super obvious where it's like, oh my god, what happened to his roots? And then I was reading up on like Twitter or something, and it was like that's a lot of people complain about it of his roots because it's so like off-putting where all of a sudden it's like, what?
Uh, that's so funny. I that makes me want to watch it more, to be honest. Yeah, I love
Um,
continuity errors.
so it's Between Us and Until We Meet Again, the dynamic and like the shows is so weird to me because like Until We Meet Again is a reincarnation show, right?
Mhm.
So you have this whole fantasy, I guess, element to it because of the reincarnation thing. And then so you have that. And so you have Boone Prem as the side couple doing whatever. And then Between Us there's nothing fantasy about it. It's 2 dudes on a swim team.
I know, yeah, they sound like they're in different universes, but
It really feels like it, but like the characters are all interacting with each other all the whole time in both the shows. So,
mhm.
but yeah,
Yeah. Well, yeah, looking forward to Vampire Show.
I am too. I've been so excited ever since like it first got announced when they were still all under Wabi Sabi.
Yeah.
And it was like, Boone, this is his pet project. This is what he wanted. I'm like, I have such high hopes for it. Like, I hope it's really good.
Yeah, I do too.
I feel pretty comfortable with it just now. Like, I mean, even under Wabi Sabi, I think it would have been fine. But I think GMMTV, like, if they're not happy with the script, they're gonna like get somebody to help him edit the script. You know.
Yeah.
Hopefully, they don't try and like take over it from him. You know. But
Yeah, the show's already gone through a few changes already, so
yeah, getting rid of Boss makes me sad.
I know.
But because there's a lot of people that don't want to watch it now that Boss isn't in it. I'm like, he wasn't even the main point.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Boss would make a great vampire, but it's not gonna
He
make
would.
or break the show for me.
No, I'm absolutely still gonna watch it.
Yeah.
So, what is your next pairing?
Well, my next pairing, I have a Poom, who are the couple in my stand-in. And they've literally only been in one show together, and they're already like one of my absolute favorites. Like I need more shows from them so bad.
Right? Like, I'm so stressed that they're not an official pairing because they're right. So, first Katong, my favorite pairing. I don't know if Uppoom are more my favorite pairing than first Katong at this point. I don't
I
know.
know. If they like okay, so they've only been in one show together, so I'm like I feel like I can't that's like the reason I have them third on here is just because they're literally just in one show, but that one show was so good and they were so perfect. We'll put it this way, they were so perfect together that Up's character was kind of a horrible person through half the show, and I still wanted them to be together. I was like a full like Ming apologist the whole show. And I'm like, and normally I'm not like, rooting for toxic couples or anything, but they were just so good together.
I feel like he redeemed himself.
He
It's
did.
fine.
Yeah, I think it's fine, but like while I was watching the show, I was like, I don't know if he's going to go through like a redemption arc. Through like most of the
Yeah.
show, you're just like, I don't know if this guy is like actually insane or not.
Yeah, I will say Poom is also a Ming apologist, so we are in good company.
Yeah, we
Because it's funny watching the behind the scenes or like them reacting to like the show, like watching the show themselves is so funny because
Mhm.
like Up is like Ming sucks. Like I know my character sucks, and Poom is like your character's fantastic. I love him. He is perfect.
I know. I'm glad he's like one of us because for a while I was like, I don't know if is it brave of me to say that I like want them to live together.
I absolutely did. I was
Yeah.
not shy about it at all.
Mm-mm. So yeah,
But yeah.
I love them both. And I saw this is like random, but like Poom posted a TikTok today of just like Up trying to put in his contact lens, and I'm like, this is like the domestic shit I'm here for.
I haven't seen that one yet. I need to go watch it.
Yeah, I was literally just like it came up in my For You page. It was sometimes it's like literally nothing. It's just him putting in a contact lens, and I'm like, I love that Poom took the time to like film this and then post it. Like, thank you.
I love that. They do that to each other so often, I swear, where like they're doing nothing like of importance and the other one's like, I'm gonna film this.
Yeah, I love it. Little slice of life.
Yeah, their photo shoots they've done for this photo book that's coming out. I kind of want the photo book because the photos are so pretty.
They are. Yeah, it like takes my breath away.
Hmm. And then I love Nut is also a big fan of Up apparently. And I'm like,
Yes.
I want Up Poom to stay together, but I could also see Up and Super Nut together. Like I could see that working really well.
Upnut would be a great ship name.
It would.
Yeah, but literally, Nut is so me. He like posted an edit where it's just Up and like the poster for the show he's doing now, and then like Supernut just edited his face over like the women's face on the poster, like both of them. I'm like,
So funny.
this is so random, but like this is me too.
I thought it was a fan edit at first. I had to go look at the actual account and be like, is this actually him or did I follow the wrong account?
I know, right? Yeah, he's Supernut's still like my favorite like actor, just because he does things like that. I'm like, I love
Same.
it.
I love him.
Yeah,
So my last one is Z Nunu, which
yeah.
I don't know. Have you seen anything from them either?
I haven't, but I know a decent, or like I know I've seen the actors a lot, like off camera doing interviews and stuff, and like talking about each other. So
They're one that there's a lot of argument over whether or not they're actually dating. Um,
yeah.
like a lot. I am convinced they're dating personally because they've said they are basically like they haven't come out and said like the word like feign, which is like the word for like boyfriend, I think.
Hmm.
Boyfriend girlfriend. They haven't come out and just said that, but like everything else they've said, they've been like yes, we're together, like yes this, yes that. Um to where I'm like I don't know how you think otherwise
Yeah,
than that.
it's like something where it's like they've pretty much said everything except like officially confirming. Like I don't know, it toes the line. It's to the point where it's like if they're not together, it would be like really messed up. But
Yeah.
they
Uh,
have like they keep saying that they're like, you know.
yeah, and like they have couple rings and like stuff like that and I'm like okay, like I don't know how much clearer it gets. And then also they did a fan meet together like a year or two ago and like they did the Phantom of the Opera song and
Oh
that was
yeah.
what sealed the deal for me because like I the first thing I saw them in was Cutie Pie,
Hmm.
um which there is an age gap in them and that is kind of the only thing that I'm not thrilled about.
Yeah.
Because Nunu his birthday is actually this week.
Oh
He will be
yeah.
turning 23 and Z turns 32 later this year. So there's
Yeah.
a 9-year age gap there that a little uncomfortable. Um, especially with
Yeah.
the fact that like Cutie Pie came out 2 years ago, so it was like 21 and 29. And I don't know if they had anything before that because I think because Z was with Saint for a while, I think, and then
Yeah.
um, but they're really honestly they're so cute together.
Hmm.
Um, and I really liked Cutie Pie, so that was the first show I watched after Love in the Air.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah.
and Nunu is one of the more talented singers in the BL industry. So
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like seeing like videos of them and stuff. Like I don't know. They seem like happy together and stuff, so
mhm.
it's just like good for them.
So and they have the next Prince coming up that I
Yes, and it looks so good.
it does. I'm super excited for this one.
I love
Um
like royal themed like shit. Like it'll be great.
yeah, and so they just had their worship day a couple days ago. So that's usually what they do right before they start filming. So
Hmm.
between that and the Zombivore finally ending the filming because they're both in that. Um
Yeah.
hopefully they'll start filming this pretty soon.
I hope
Um
so. I'm so excited to watch this one.
I am too. This one looks really good. This of all the like stuff that's been previewed, this is definitely up there on the list for me.
I agree.
Um
Yeah, just like even the poster itself, I'm like, wow, stunning. I'm sold.
yeah, I also think Z is one of the most attractive BL actors in the industry personally.
Yeah,
Um
that's fair.
he's very much my type. Um
Yeah. I mean, they're honestly like sometimes I watch shows and I'm like, how do they find this many attractive people?
right? And like
Like,
I know there's some plastic surgery involved and all that, but I'm like you still have to have like a decent like solid base. Like plastic surgery can only do so much.
yeah, yeah. I know I just like watch shows and I'm like, wow, so
Right?
many. Like I know they're actors and that's kind of usually how
Yeah.
they actors go, but
Yeah, but it's like, okay, you gotta act well and and still look good.
and yeah, and be
Mm.
beautiful.
Yeah, because that's the same. Like I Boone. Boone is super pretty to me. their stage presence and their fan mates together, Z and Nunu, it's just so unreal to me. I'm like,
Yeah.
if they aren't together and this is all an act, like God bless them for being strong. Um,
Yeah, they full committed.
like I would not be strong enough not to fall in love at that point.
Yeah. That I feel like that's if I was an actor in general though, like sometimes I watch scenes where it's like really like intimate and I'm like, how do you do this? You know, I feel like I'd fall in love with everyone, but that
Same.
is just a very bisexual perspective.
Yeah, I think that's part of why I like the idea of like an official like ship because then I'm
Yeah.
like I'm gonna fall in love with this one person, but at least it's not gonna be every show's a different person.
Yeah. Yeah, right. You can kind
Um,
of contain it.
yeah, Up talked about that a little bit though in an interview recently,
Oh,
where he was
really?
like, yeah, where he's like, you have to kind of like learn to like leave work at work and
Oh,
not to
yeah.
like you have to separate yourself from the character, otherwise you do fall in love. And he's like, and that's not good for anybody.
No, yeah, I would I literally like I will watch shows and I'll just be like, I could not be an actor. I could not do this.
No, I
I'd
couldn't
be in like
either.
such trouble all the time.
Yeah, I would the unrequited love I would have for everybody.
Yeah. Wouldn't be good.
So that's it for the ships we love, though. Is there
Mhm.
any
Or
ship
at
you want
least
to?
like our
Oh,
favorite favorites, you
yeah,
know.
yeah. I mean, I have a much longer list of like other ones, but
Mhm.
those are my top.
Yeah.
Are there any ships you want to break up?
Oh, we're getting
Who are we
home
sinking?
record. Okay,
We're
so
about to make some people mad. Sorry.
I know, yeah, not to be controversial. I would say like okay, first of I don't like hate any ships. I want to
No.
say like I've never watched a show and been like, "Oh, that's bad." Like, you know.
Yeah.
I always like enjoy, you know, what I'm
Hmm.
watching, but I do think that like one I'm not the hugest fan of is Forcebook. Like I feel so conflicted because I love both of the actors and I
Hmm.
love seeing them in things, but I also think about like if I were to see them with someone else, I like wouldn't be upset.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind this one breaking up either, to be honest.
Yeah. I
Um.
don't know like what it is for me. I just like can't really I just like I like them both, but I just don't care as much about their like chemistry.
Yeah. I definitely don't pay attention to anything they do off screen, like together.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if it's just how my algorithm works, but I think Force is more active in general, just like
Mm.
off screen with stuff. Like I see his stuff all the time, all over like Twitter. Like he's replying to everybody. It's so funny.
Horse is so funny. I love seeing him on like social media and stuff.
Oh.
But and I
I
don't
think,
know if it's like just because a lot of their shows I've seen I didn't like love that much,
yeah,
you know? And that could probably also be part of it. Like I loved Only Friends, but also Only Friends, like their characters were like kind of unlikable. So it's just like
yeah,
that, you know, could be a combination of that.
yeah. I think a lot of people. There's like a lot of mixed reviews on like Enchante and A Boss and a
Mhm.
Babe.
Yeah.
Um,
Like I'm like I could go either way. Like I'm fine seeing them in roles together, but I would also
mm,
like to see them, you know, experiment around and
yeah, I feel like both
other
of them would grow better, like career wise with other people.
yeah.
Um, and so they have that like, tall, like I hate to say top type of a character, right? And then like,
Mhm.
and then not Mew. I know. I had to think. I was like, Book is you know, Book is like like they have that like the
Yeah, yeah.
shorter like whatever, which I don't even think Book is actually that short. I think it's just like the vibe. Um,
Yeah. Well, it's
but
also like Force's character's name in Only Friends is literally Top.
yeah, and
So
honestly, I would like Force to be put with someone like equal.
I would like to see that too.
Like, I think that would be really interesting to see him with somebody who is, like, equal in, like, the typecasting. Um,
Yeah. I would you know what I would love you know what would be crazy?
what?
Okay, get with this. Okay.
I'm all ears.
Force and Earth.
Oh, that would be weird.
What do you
Oh,
think?
that would I need them to not make Earth a weird age because like the whole
Yeah,
Moonlight Chicken where he looks like he's like 40 when he's literally like 30. Um
yeah.
but I would watch it.
Honestly, I would watch it for curiosity's sake.
Yeah.
But like
I don't
something like that, I feel like it could be kind of fun, you know.
yeah, I'm trying to think. Somebody like I'm not a huge fan of like pod either, but I think somebody like doing like a force pod force type of a thing would also be interesting.
Mhm. Yeah.
I I think something along those lines would be a really interesting pairing. Maybe
Yeah.
also not a permanent one. I don't know that I'd want that permanently either,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I'm
but I think
down to like experiment a little more.
yeah, I think he would be one that would be really interesting to see in different pairings.
Yeah. But we'll see. We still have Perfect 10 liners coming out that they're paired up in, so
Yeah, which has been filming, so
mhm.
maybe soon-ish we'll start getting season 1.
Yes. And
Um
I will be watching it regardless, but
yeah, no, for sure. For sure. Because I do love them both because I keep wanting to call him Mew. God, it's
I
so bad.
know. He
Um
like really suits Mew for some reason. I don't
he
know.
does. Book is also really good friends. He's like a big like first cut tongue stan.
Yeah, yeah.
He does stuff to set those two up. It's really funny. And he hangs out with them a fair bit. Like he's been in quite a few lives where he's just sitting in the back just watching them.
Yeah.
And he's just like living his like fandom like life is what it comes across as. It's really funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I love him.
So, but I think with him being introverted, I think that's part of why I'm like, I don't really know much about him, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think he's part of introvert gang.
Yeah. He's
And he's
an
like less on social media and stuff.
yeah. And first Force book, I also definitely don't think are dating.
No,
I
no, no.
that is
I don't
a friendship only thing.
yeah. That's a hard like
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
I
sure there are fans who genuinely believe it, but I'm not fooled.
no.
They're not trying to fool us, I don't think.
No, you see every once in a while I think when they're together like Force gets jealous or something, but it's, it's not as intense.
Yeah, I feel like it's pretty clearly just like for fun.
Yeah.
What about do you have a couple you'd break up?
So the only one I can think of is the last one on your list.
Okay, okay, let's go ahead and say it.
Okay, and it's Jeff Barcode.
Yeah. I'm sorry to all the fans, but I just cannot get over the age difference.
No.
I can't. It's too bad.
Like it at least Barcode is like legal now, but that's also a whole different level of weird.
Dude,
Um
I could not. So they were a couple in Kin Porsche, and freaking Barcode was underage, and Jeff was like at the time like what 27, 28.
yeah.
That's I just like cannot. I can't believe that happened. And also like I mean during the show like nothing like actually happens between the two, thank God.
Yeah, I think they handled that well.
But it's like
Um
why did you have to cast it like that anyway? Like
yeah, that's my problem. I'm like I don't know. I and I think it plays out a little different in the book too. I haven't read the
mm,
book yet, and I want to read it because I'm curious how it actually plays out there. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, I just it makes me so uncomfortable, and I know they're really good friends or whatever because like
Yeah.
they also did Wuju Bakery that may or may not come out at some point,
Yeah, yeah.
and Jeff like went out of his way to ask Barcode if he'd be in Happy Ending, in
Mhm.
which I think they're paired together. I think that's how that's gonna go from the trailer. Um,
Yeah, we'll see. It's not super clear.
yeah, I'm not entirely sure it's a BL, but it definitely leans that way.
Mhm.
And I just so like I get it, and like they can be friends. I just would like to see Jeff paired with somebody closer to his age.
Agreed. Yeah, I think I would not care at all if they weren't paired romantically anymore. I just
Which I mean, I will say they both do branch out, right? Because like Barcode did Dead Friends Forever, where he had a different pairing.
mhm.
And then Jeff has that movie coming out, which is a
Yeah.
BL. So so like they do branch out from each other. So that's kind of an interesting one where like yes, they're not an official couple, but they do keep doing stuff together, but they also have other stuff.
Yeah.
Um
It is I do see that's how I feel like most couples should be
yeah,
in like my preference.
I I agree. I think the gap between when like official couples would have shows coming out would be too much for most of
Yeah.
these. And I think that's where the issue would come in.
Yeah.
Um
That's fair.
so but if like they like actors were doing more than like maybe one show a year type of thing or every other year depending, I
Mhm.
think it would lend itself more to being able to do like a do something like that where you have your like official couple that you always kind of do stuff with and maybe you do more off-screen stuff with and then like you can branch out in within shows.
Yeah.
Um I think part of that is also dependent on like the industry because that's like a lot with how these actors are within their own like companies that does the artist management but also does like show production like GMMTV, right? So GMMTV can only do so many shows in a year anyway and they have a rather large lineup of actors now.
Mhm. Oh,
So they
yeah.
can, so like they're limited on how much they can actually do whereas like Jeff is independent now, right? Like he just does whatever he wants whenever he wants. To an extent, of course, right? Like he's having to
Yeah.
look for funding for Happy Ending. Um and then Barcode just joined a new company, right? That
Mhm.
does their own show. I don't remember who he joined, but they do their own show production. But I think for it to work, you'd have to do something like I guess what like the company Up is under that I think only does artist management, and then they'd go do shows for other studios.
Yeah.
I
That
think
makes the most
that
sense.
yeah, I think that way you could get it where you have like your quote unquote official couple and then also side work
Yeah.
because you could do like basically what Up's doing. It's just the other show he's doing is a straight show, I guess. Um, right. So it's he and Poom work together for my stand-in, but then the next show he has coming out, which already filmed, by the way. Apparently they filmed that before my stand-in.
Oh,
um,
okay.
yeah, so that's my understanding, at least from what I was reading, is that it filmed like last year sometime.
Yeah.
Um, and so like he's doing that, and that's a change 2561. So you
Yeah.
could get more workout in when you're doing that.
Yeah. It makes sense.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah, I know a lot of people are like a fan of, this pairing, but I personally I just like can't I just can't get behind it.
yeah, there's so many people I could get behind like Jeff being paired with.
Oh
Like
yeah.
like so many. Like honestly just anyone besides like within like their late 20s, early 30s, like anyone in that age group, I'd be down for it.
I agree. And same with like Barcode. I'm just like get him someone who's around his age.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't like his character that much in Kin Porsche. Not anything against Barcode there. And then
Mhm.
I couldn't make myself watch Dead Friends Forever. I watched like 2 episodes and couldn't handle it.
Yeah. Yeah, that one I'm still excited to watch eventually.
Yeah, so it's and none of that's against Barcode, of course. That's all just me being weak.
Yeah.
Because like the acting was good from like the 2 episodes I saw of Dead Friends Forever, and a lot of people really liked it. So,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
yeah, I would like to see them elsewhere. I will say I do think it's cute when I see Barcode go to like one of Jeff's concerts and like he gets like the VIP treatment, like the VVIP,
Yeah.
because there was one recently where that Jeff had a thing and I think it was a bunch of the people from Kin Porsche that went, and everyone
Mhm.
was like, "Where's Barcode?" And it was like he was separately like in a whole different area, being like escorted by like Jeff's manager and like somebody else, and like it was like clearly like much more important. And like the other friends all got like put in their seats, and Jeff was like brought, or excuse me, Barcode was like brought backstage to Jeff. It was so funny to watch because everyone was like,
Mhm.
"Where's Barcode?" And I was like, "Oh, he's a yeah."
VIP.
Mhm. It was really funny. So I'm like,
Mhm.
I'm cool with like that kind of stuff. Like that doesn't
Yeah.
bother me. Like the way because nothing they've done has been like super like, oh, that's weird. Maybe I
Mhm.
shouldn't like be a fan of Jeff or something crazy like that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's all just like the acting. I'm like, I need a good BL out of Jeff that is like age appropriate.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Because that's with like Wuju Bakery, like that's been filmed so long ago too. Like was Barcode still a minor when that got filmed?
I don't know.
So
I hope not.
right? Like I'm not entirely sure what the timeline is there because I don't really want to
Yeah,
look into it that hard.
I know. I mean, that show is just we'll see if that ever comes out, I guess.
Yeah. Do you have another ship that you want to sink?
Okay, not even like really sync, but the last one I had I was thinking of was I feel like Off Gun can move on. You know? Like I like them, but I just like I don't really like the shows they do together that much. Like I
I need
love
more
Not
not
Me.
me.
Yeah, I love Not Me, but everything else I'm just like, yeah, like it's cute, whatever. Like, they're BL royalty because they've been the longest running couple and it's like, it's all great and stuff, but like I wouldn't be mad if they did something else? Like I think
Yeah.
you mentioned before like how Off doesn't really he's not really into doing BLs, but he'll do it if like, you know, with
Yeah.
Gun and stuff. And I feel like he kind of wants to like move on from it and I'm just like, yeah, I would be fine with it. Like they've they've done their share. Like they've done more than like anyone else has in the entire industry. So I'm happy to like if they want to do something else to like kind of let them go.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Off dislikes doing BLs by any means. I think he's just comfortable with Gun.
Yeah.
Um and so I do think that if Off Gun ever sync, I think that is the last time we see Off in a BL.
I
Um
could not picture Off with anyone else.
no, not at all. But I mean, he does do other shows.
Yeah, he's in I know he was like announced to be in one that was like I remember watching the trailer. It was I probably wouldn't watch it, but yeah, he's in other shows and stuff.
Yeah, he does because he does shows like where it's like straight couples.
Mhm. Yeah.
And then what which thread me off is he's off gonna have a show airing right now that I feel like was not promoted at all.
No,
Like
I haven't
I
heard like anyone talking about it.
no, I've seen a little bit like here and there on like Twitter and like TikTok and like even on there, everyone's like, why does no one know about this show?
I know. Yeah, it's some like office drama.
Yeah, I will say from the people I have seen talking about it, say it feels like a very accurate representation of being like the new like trainee, like doing an internship in like a office role.
Yeah.
So, I will watch it. I will say, um,
Yeah, I'm sure I will too. But yeah, I that's one where I'm just like, they've paid their dues. Like,
yeah, I just selfishly, I'm like, I just don't want to stop watching stuff with off in it. So I'm like, if that means I
mm.
gotta watch these campy off gun shows, that's what I gotta watch because I
Yeah,
do think they're both really good actors. Um,
I just want another Not Me. Like,
yeah.
give me something like a little angsty and gritty, and not like a rom com.
Fully agree. Like, Not Me is like such a good show, just in general. And like, I was so surprised at how much I enjoyed it. And like, both of their acting was so good in it, like, just top tier. Not that I
Yeah,
think like I think they're always great at what they do. Um, because the last thing they did was Cooking Crush, which is part of why I'm surprised that the training is airing right now because that one went into the beginning of this year, so it hasn't even been
yeah.
that long,
I know it's been a pretty quick turnaround.
which is a little unusual, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Like, obviously, they're BL royalty for a reason.
Yeah.
But
I will say I think if they do sync, I think we'll still see Gun and BLs for a very long time. Um
Yeah, I think so too. I would. There's like he has a lot of chemistry with like everyone.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, yeah, there's a lot of people where I think it would be fun to see them act in a drama together.
Mhm.
So that's my list, my home wrecking list. Not that I like actually want to break up any of these couples, but there are just ones where I'm just kind of like, yeah, I wouldn't be mad if I saw them with someone else.
Yeah, it's I don't know that there's really any. I haven't thought too much about it because I feel like a lot of the ones where I'm like, "Nah, I can take it or leave it," were never official anyway. Um,
Yeah.
um, And then there's some Frank and Long Lee split like yesterday.
Mm. Oh,
Um,
yeah, right.
and I don't know that anybody was mad about that one either, to be honest. Everyone was like, "Yeah, that's fine."
Yeah. I love seeing the variety of reactions to like
Yeah.
couples splitting. But yeah,
Mm.
that's pretty comprehensive list of our favorites and not even least favorites, but just ones
Yeah.
we care less about and our thoughts
Yeah.
on the whole just like shipping pairing culture and in the BL world. Some interesting stuff.
Yeah, I think I'm with you because I think you said earlier that there's not even any like couples you don't necessarily like none that you dislike.
Mhm.
And I can't think of any either where I was like, this is like the worst thing ever, right? Like my problem has always like with a show, if there's anything, has been script writing, right?
Yeah,
Where
it's
like,
always like the show itself is bad. It's usually not like
yeah, it's not the actors. So, because even when like there's been a few I've watched where I'm like the chemistry just wasn't there, but I'm like I also think it was the scripting and the directing that was the problem more than the because like you watch an interview with them and they're like, "Oh, you do have chemistry. What?"
yeah, right. Yeah, I know. I That's kind of how I feel. I'm sure there are shows out there that exist that it's like, you know, the
Yeah.
two leads seem like they can't stand each other, but I feel like I just kind of avoid those.
Yeah, it's there's so many shows to watch that I try to find ones that people talk about in like a positive light more than
Yeah.
anything.
And
Um,
usually if like their chemistry isn't that good on screen, then they don't become an official couple anyway, so
mhm.
yeah. I do think the industry does a good job of like picking and choosing well.
I think so too.
Mhm. They know what the people want.
Well, guys, that wraps today's episode. Talking about our ships. You can find us on our socials as usual on TikTok and Instagram at bl.in.theair, or excuse me, the.air, and at Twitter at BL in the air. And then you can find us streaming wherever you're currently listening. Um, Come say hi. Tell us about your ship, your favorite ships.
Yeah,
Maybe
I'd
some of
love
those
to
you
hear about it.
dislike. Yeah. Um, I always like seeing people talk about their favorite ships.
I
It's
do
fun.
too.
Seeing
Yeah,
people get excited about something always makes me happy.
I agree.
So, but and we'll catch you next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.